He was gay, wasn't he?
No kidding. You think?
Yeah, you think? But he was the best kisser?
I said pretty well all of them but him.
Oh, I thought you said all, especially all of them, but...
Yeah, I'm not that particular.
Did you have to kiss him in the movie?
I think I did.
He was wonderful to me. I really had fun with him.
Absolutely right.
He was a great guy.
Great guy.
He gave me a rough time.
He was a rough guy.
Yeah.
One of the most intelligent I ever met. Photographic memory. Could read a script, never look at it again.
You think you've seen how Hollywood handles heartbreak. The dark glasses, the polished statements, the soft requests for privacy rolling across TV screens. But what's happening right now is nothing like that at all. Because when a woman who spent 7 decades running this town, now 91 years old, picks up the phone and speaks straight from the chest, people stop scrolling and start listening. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't filtered. And it definitely wasn't safe. She wasn't just talking about losing a friend. She was blowing the lid off what really went down in the weeks before everything collapsed. No press conference, no flashing cameras, just a raw, unfiltered conversation from her own home. And it sent shockwaves through Hollywood's tight inner circles. People who thought they knew exactly what was happening inside that household suddenly didn't anymore. She didn't sound distant or broken. She sounded angry, like someone done protecting a fake version of the truth. She made it clear she was tired of covering up messes powerful people wanted buried. Then she dropped the bombshell. She said flat out that what happened wasn't just some tragic ending. He was wonderful to me. I really had fun with him. And then she went further. She claimed he was targeted inside his own home. The coldest part. According to her, he saw the danger coming but refused to face it, blinded by a trust no parent ever wants to question. This wasn't some casual Hollywood friendship either. They were old school. They came from an era where loyalty was tested in real rooms, not online. They shared years of work, private conversations, and a deep belief in storytelling that actually hits the soul.
I think that for some reason, our governments, especially the American government, don't want to disclose it. None of that is hard evidentiary. But you know there's something there. Not even, well, I can't say worse or better. Because I will say one thing. Since the corporate mentality took over the studios, now they're all into branding, as you know, with Marvel this and Spider that.
And don't let her mysticism fool you. She's razor sharp when it comes to reading people. She told insiders that the last time she saw her friend about 3 weeks before everything unraveled, something was off. He wasn't the loud, fearless man people saw on TV. He was shrinking. That's the exact word she used. Sitting silently, staring out the driveway like he was waiting for something to happen. She said the air in that house felt heavy. Pressing down, her friend, usually the one lighting up the room, looked scared, watching every sound outside like it meant trouble. Then came the revelation that flipped everything. According to her, the family already knew the son was unraveling long before help was ever mentioned. This wasn't small. This was a full emotional collapse driven by entitlement, anger, and deep denial. The father tried to calm the storm with money and love. Checks were written, hugs were given, and hope was stretched thin. But she warned him straight up. This wasn't going to work. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "You're feeding a shark and hoping it turns into a dolphin." That line didn't just land. It stuck. It's been echoing all over Hollywood, and now people are realizing just how right she was. Forget the gossip blogs and wild guesses. The idea that he suddenly snapped doesn't hold up. What's coming out now and what she hinted at paints a far messier picture. This wasn't random. This was a slow, boiling buildup that had been simmering for months. Sources close to the family say there were quiet police visits to the Brentwood home back in October and November. No reports, no headlines, nothing leaked. When you carry that much influence, things can stay quiet. You tell authorities it's a family issue. You say your kid's struggling, but you've got it handled. And the father did exactly that. He protected his son's image right up to the end. He didn't want his son turned into a headline or a spectacle. But then came the image that freezes everyone. The mugshot, she didn't look away. She said when she saw the son's face on the screen, she didn't recognize the kid she once watched grow up. She said something was missing behind his eyes, a hollow look that shook her deeply. Insiders say even a famous actor privately shared similar thoughts with people close to him. And remember, that actor and the father go way back. A Few Good Men wasn't just a movie. It bonded them for life. The actor is known for loyalty, and sources say he moved fast when everything broke. Private security was reportedly arranged for the surviving siblings. Immediately. That's how serious it was. But even that actor, someone who's seen everything in this business, was reportedly disturbed by what he heard about life inside that house. According to people close to her, this wasn't chaos or a random argument. This was about control. Money mattered, yes, but beneath it was something darker. A grown man nearing 40, convinced the world owed him everything because of his last name. And parents who loved too deeply to draw a hard line. She said the mother was always the peacemaker, the one stepping between the father and son when tensions exploded. And it's painful to think that instinct to protect may have put her right in the middle when things spiraled. What she is exposing isn't just one family unraveling. She says it's something bigger, something she calls the Hollywood syndrome. She called it the most dangerous illusion in Hollywood. Fame, money, privilege, all wrapped up as protection, when in reality it slowly rips families apart. She said raising kids in this town is brutal when the parents aren't just successful but legendary. The father wasn't just a filmmaker, he was an institution. And for the son, growing up in that shadow didn't inspire pride, it bred resentment. She revealed that the mother told her months earlier they had started changing the locks on the guest house. Not for strangers, not for intruders, but to keep the son out when things got unstable. Imagine that. Living in a fortified Brentwood home, surrounded by wealth and security, yet afraid of someone you love, too heartbroken to call for help because love kept getting in the way. I didn't understand what anybody was saying half the time because all these young people talk so fast and they talk speed talk and I don't know what they're talking, but whatever. So I would just make fun of them and they would laugh and basically admit that they were keeping their thoughts secret through the way they spoke, so that older people never knew what they were thinking. The advantage of being locked out of the corporate Hollywood is that most of the good scripts, the good directors, the good actors, all that stuff is happening in the independent world. And the most chilling part wasn't just the fear, it was the silence. She didn't sugarcoat it. She called out the enablers, agents, managers, and so-called friends who saw the warning signs and stayed quiet. They kept inviting the son to parties, kept praising him, kept calling him misunderstood, all while knowing something was seriously wrong. Nobody wanted to risk their access or their connections. That silence, she said, is exactly what let things spiral. At 91, she is done protecting Hollywood's image. She said, "We watched this boy fall apart, and everyone politely looked away because it was uncomfortable at dinner." That line cut straight through the room. She exposed the unspoken rule. When a powerful family is in crisis, everyone pretends it's fine just to keep the peace. Now the legal fight is heating up fast. The family is shattered, and the courtroom battle is serious. A prominent attorney has taken the case, and he doesn't step in unless the stakes are massive. Reports say the defense is preparing a mental health argument, claiming the son didn't fully understand his actions. But she isn't buying it, and sources say the district attorney isn't either. She's standing firm. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't impulse. This was a pattern everyone chose to ignore. Behind the scenes, investigators are reportedly collecting messages, emails, and recordings that suggest awareness, not chaos. The idea that the son didn't understand what he was doing is starting to crack. Even more unsettling, former friends of the father are now quietly coming forward, sharing stories of tense dinners, awkward interventions, moments everyone brushed off to keep things smooth. She is refusing to back down, she reportedly said. "I've been in this town too long to let truth get buried under red carpet smiles." Whispers from inside the case suggest the timeline is under heavy review. Authorities arrived later in the evening, but evidence points to critical moments happening much earlier. That means there was a stretch of time where no one knows exactly what happened inside that house, who was contacted, who was called, and whether anyone outside got involved at all. Rumors are spreading that a call may have been placed to someone known as a fixer. If proven, this case doesn't just stay in one courtroom. It explodes into a full industry-wide reckoning. And through all of it, the quiet support around the surviving siblings continues. Insiders say figures like that famous actor have stepped in privately to protect and guide them. But her final point lands the hardest. No amount of influence, awards, or connections can stop a storm already forming inside your own home. Love alone isn't always a shield. I mean, in my day when we were all younger, nothing like that happened. And these people really are up against a serious set of invasion of privacy rules. You know, he does give me credit for inviting him and making sure he was in the movie. But he could not deal with the pantyhose of all the women that he was dating. He said, "How do you get those things off fast enough?" So we had to go through a rehearsal once. I mean, I didn't do it with him. But I went through the different moves how you take. And what about the son? His legal team is silent. The trial is still months away, yet his name hangs over every conversation like a shadow that won't lift. Did he act alone? Or were unseen forces quietly steering him toward destruction? That's the question keeping Hollywood awake at night. The investigation is still active. Evidence is still coming in, and the silence from the industry has never felt heavier. In a city built on illusion, even the truth feels scripted sometimes. Maybe we'll never know every detail. Maybe that's the real tragedy. But one thing is clear. This story has changed Hollywood forever. This isn't finished. Not yet. If you followed this story from the beginning, hit like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment and tell us what you think really happened. The story may pause here, but the conversation is just getting started.